From Studio 19, I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, and this is definitely a world gone mad. No way in hell that I wanted to do an episode today for several reasons. First, I didn't want to listen to Trump's speech Thursday, but I had to because I do this podcast. Also, the weekend is coming up in the next few days, and it's my birthday. And I really didn't want to hear garbage from the president's mouth before my birthday. Unfortunately, here we go. Delusional, deranged, demented. Trump just being Trump. The world was laughing at us before, Trump said. No, Donald, the world was laughing at you. We are now the most loved and hottest country right now in the world, Trump continued. No, we are not. 2 years ago, our country was dead. No, Donald, you killed our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. Seriously? I can't speak for you, the listener, but my girlfriend's been out of work for 6 months now. The tax cuts are saving people thousands and thousands of dollars. Hey, Wolfpack, let me ask you a question. Any of you saving thousands and thousands of dollars out there? Yep, my family and I have all this money to do a lot of things with. What an incredible amount of bullshit. Whenever Donald's smoking, he should share it with America. Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful world we live in, and a wonderful life in America because of Donald Trump. La 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 la. And the cost of health care is coming way down because of TrumpRx.com, says Trump. Now, a lot of you have written me. You're doing wonderful with your health care, right? Sarcastically, I say, choosing between a can of tuna for lunch or whether you can afford your script for blood pressure meds. Look at me. Look what I did. Kiss my ass or die. We are the greatest in the world, the greatest in the history of mankind. Sorry, everyone, but I really didn't want to watch this speech. Thank God it was only 26 minutes long. Too long, unfortunately. That's 26 minutes I'll never get back in my life again. Then Donald continued, if parents go to trumpaccounts.gov, add their children, by the time their children are 18, they'll have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account to start off life. Great. Go to trumplookatme.gov, imagod.gov, imking.gov, because I'm the be-all and end-all of the universe. Move aside, Dr. Strange. I, Trump, am the supreme protector of Earth. More fantasy statements from Trump's speech. We have the most powerful and strongest military by far anywhere in the world. Yet, Donald, we're pissing away millions of dollars and missiles on an Iran war that we can't win. And we're depleting our military stockpile of weapons, you frigging moron. We are winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of our labor shortly. When? How long? You keep threatening Iran. You keep hitting them with attacks 6 days in a row, and they're fighting back. Congratulations, Donald. You are in your very own forever war. And then here it comes. Not even 5 minutes into Trump's speech, and he decides to address elections. He starts with 2020. Of course he does. After ridiculous amounts of venom on 2020, Trump segues into specifically the midterms, which means Donald Trump is now stating to the public out loud, midterms are not going to go the way I want, therefore I'm going to have to take control of them. None of us saw that coming, right? Can Trump be any more transparent not even 5 minutes into his speech? Americans need to know when they cast their vote will be counted accurately. Wow. And what will come next will contradict what I'm telling all of you in my crazy ass speech. Tonight, Donald says, I'm going to release declassified information revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election system. Do these documents show anything to the level of what Trump's claiming? These so-called made-up documents that skew towards supporting you, Donald, and your theories and conspiracies? So you won't release all of the Epstein files, even though you called for that, but you will go on and on about election integrity? And you're basing this on so-called smoking gun documents and evidence. This evidence will show hacking exploitation and foreign interference, specifically from China. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alice in Wonderland, falling rapidly down the rabbit hole. Trump goes on to name several fancy titled groups in his speech, like the Government White House Transparency Task Force. Trump named several more groups with fancy titles, and all of these people who personally reviewed these findings and had a direct hand in releasing these documents that will conclusively show the corruption in our election system, supposedly. Our purpose in releasing these documents is not to weaken confidence in our elections. Seriously? And Trump said that with a straight face. Hold on, Wolfpack listeners. Let's play the shot drinking game. Every time Trump says a ridiculous sentence during any speech, we all take a shot and say, bullshit. Trump then said CBS, ABC, NBC fucked him in 2020. That's why he lost. Not because he lost because China fucked him. And again, Trump said this with a straight face. What China did, Trump went on to say, was a security nightmare. And to remind all of you, the listeners, this was only at 8 minutes into Trump's speech where he spewed all of this. China's sinister election meddling, Donald claimed. Hey, there's a t-shirt that Trump and MAGA can use. China's sinister election meddling. If you watched the speech, hopefully a lot of you didn't. I had to because I'm doing my show. But if you watched the speech, by minute 9, you were hoping you were drunk from drinking for the first 7 minutes because you couldn't believe the garbage that was pouring out of Donald's mouth. China hacked election voter rolls in 18 states and kept it hidden. Trump drones on. Unlike my administration, who won't release all the Epstein files, right, Donald? The man doth protest too much, methinks. I'm not joking about this next comment from me, but when Donald Trump said his line about China hacking election voter rolls in 18 states, and he went on for a couple more seconds, it was literally at the 9:11 mark on the time clock in his speech. I'm not making that up. Make of that what you will, listeners. At this point of Trump's speech, I was wishing people would walk into the room and say, Mr. President, can you follow us to the padded cell? I mean the situation room, sir. We need to talk to you about something. And lock him the fuck up, because Donald snapped. And all the Republican leadership who are allowing this to happen is complicit in the destruction of America. They're standing around watching just like Germans in Germany did at the beginning of Hitler's reign and did nothing about it. Remember, Jeff. Deep breaths, Jeff. Come on. Deep breaths. Trump, the person, is deranged. Trump is demented. Trump is the single most destructive element on our planet. This is the time for all of you listening to me. Don't just shake your head while listening and say, yeah, okay, Jeff, whatever. This is the time where you need to pick up your damn phone, call your senators, congressmen and women, local politicians, and ask them, what the hell are they doing about this lunatic? Also call mainstream media. You know, the popular shows on TV, and ask the people who answer the phone, what the hell are the talking heads on mainstream news media doing about this danger? And this is the time to hear from you, the listener, to email me, because your silence just tells me you don't give a shit about anything anymore. You don't give a damn about this podcast, and you don't care what happens day to day to our country. wolfpacktalks@gmail.com. I would love to hear your opinions at this stage right now in our country. Do you care? Trump went on for several more minutes in his speech, saying China did this, China did that, China ruined our country, China pissed all over Donald, China tried to tear him down and say he was terrible when he was not terrible and he was a great president. Typical Trump ego and complaints. This whole speech and situation is sad. If it wasn't so completely destructive, and I have to say somewhat bizarre. Donald Trump is the classic textbook definition of a narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. And again, I've said this 8,000 times during my podcast in the last 2 years. So if any of you have family members, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, or friends who still support this man, I feel bad for you. I genuinely feel bad that if you have a family member locked into this cult-like delusional state of mind, it's ridiculous. Okay, I bravely went on to listen to the rest of Trump's incredibly delusional speech. There are no words I could use right now, but he spent the next 3 minutes talking about, I kid you not, burn bags with ballots in there being destroyed, fake votes being generated from China for Joe Biden. Same shit, different day that we've heard for years now from Donald. All of you, me, America, is being used as a sounding board for Donald's fragile ego. Never in the history of the world and in my lifetime, and I'm sure in yours as well, have we ever seen anybody like this. This broken, insecure man who is so convinced and hurt of what everyone's doing to him keeps exorcist vomiting words out of his mouth. Donald wrapped up his 26-minute speech with authorizing a complete mobilization of all the intelligence departments, CIA, FBI, etc., to investigate heavily about this massive attack from China on our election integrity, democracy, and attacking President Trump, he said, talking in third person. A complete waste of America's resources and a completely fabricated fantasy world story. Excuse me. And to wrap up, here's the dangerous part of where Trump's speech was going. It took 16 minutes in when Trump attacked the election voting machines. Wow. At least Trump gave me a laugh at the 18-minute mark. Some of you probably heard this, but if you haven't, hear me out here. At the 18-minute mark, Trump said, people, do this with a straight face, Jeff, people in Michigan were discovered to have falsified voter application records, etc. And these people received, wait for it, gift cards for every false voter signature they forged. Gift cards. Trump said that. Straight face. In other words, pay, play, and cheat. Donald's phrase. What was happening in this incredibly fucking massively delusional vomiting from the president. 7 more minutes in wrapping up his speech, and Donald going on and on about cheating, corruption, and election results of 2020. And that they're going to do something about it before the midterms. Wake up, everyone. If you haven't yet, think about this if you saw the speech. You understand what I'm saying. If you didn't see the speech or hear the speech, listen, pay attention. Call the senators, call the congressmen and women. Get your food and household supplies together. A stockpile. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. We're in for more than a bumpy ride, to paraphrase Betty Davis from the movies. We have a blatant statement from Donald that says he's going to make sure the midterms are correct, meaning the way he wants them to turn out. Protect your family. Protect yourself. Speak up. Stop wasting your damn time on Facebook posting memes. Stop posting silly shit that doesn't do anything. You're not going to change anybody's mind that way. Strap in, sit up straight, pay attention. We are in the last several months of saving this country if we can. If you care personally, you will do something about it. And if you care at all about anything I say during my podcast, you could send me an email with your thoughts and opinions. wolfpacktalks@gmail.com. I'm recording this on a Friday, so when you listen to it, I don't know when you hear it, but this weekend is my birthday. Natasha and I are going to try to distance ourselves emotionally from all of this happening so we can enjoy a quiet birthday weekend. I wish you the best right now for you and your family. I'll be back Monday. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, and this is definitely a world gone mad. Remain hopeful.